This very small bandi. We researched on how McDonald's and Starbucks expanded. They all had one thing in common. In the first 1 month, we touched per day 50,000, and then 65,000, and then 75, and then 95, and then 1. And let's start figuring out what central kitchens are. And then we ended up taking one of the biggest central kitchens in India.
He's the youngest entrepreneur that I've recorded so far.
A person that can handle pain for a long periods of time. That's my definition of an entrepreneur.
Normal to have problems.
Yeah.
That's the message that I wanted to give with this podcast.
I don't want you to be high IQ.
Okay.
I absolutely love dumb people because I'm dumb. Let's release the product.
Yeah.
The engineers, no, it doesn't have good rounded corners yet. It's not perfect yet. No, perfection is paralysis. Food and technology were my two main passions.
My ambition was to buy a Lamborghini.
That's my parting way. Be dumb, not smart.
నాకు ఇలా అవుతుంది సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్కి ఏం జరుగుంటే వాళ్ళు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయ్యి ఉంటారు.
Oh, this thing called Churrolto all around the country.
Hi, welcome to another episode of How Did You Make It? On today's podcast, we have Mr. Neehar with us, who's apparently a lot of people's favorite speaker.
And we have Miss Anusha from How Did You Make It? Yeah.
I didn't know you were introducing me. So he's the founder of Churrolto, one of our favorite spots to hang out since almost 5 years now. Even pre-COVID, I used to visit with a lot of my friends. I didn't tell you this. So we are going to deep dive into a lot of topics as to why Neehar wanted to start Churrolto and where did he start from.
Okay, that's the first question.
Yes.
Where did I start from? Okay. 6 years in 6 minutes. Very easy for me to explain 6 years in 6 minutes. So when I was 19, I dropped out of college. I don't even know if I have a degree or not. And then we started selling churros on the street. We started selling churros on this very small bandi. And then after 6-7 months of running that street stall, we gathered some courage and we put up a small shop in the streets of Madhapur. Very small shop, just 4 to 5 tables. And then that just blew up. We were like breaking records every single week. We were breaking records. And then after 2 years, we were breaking records so much that people started gathering and it was always full. People started giving me galis. And then we're like, okay, we have to take a bigger shop. I was like, okay. And we took a shop 10 times bigger than the previous shop. And like, now we're okay. Yeah. Now people won't give me galis anymore. Then that shop blew up.
Okay.
It's like after 1 year, people started standing again. Like they started giving me galis again. It's like, now what do? We started scratching our heads. And then we're like, okay, we have to expand. How do we expand? We researched on how McDonald's and Starbucks expanded. They all had one thing in common. They all had this thing called a central kitchen. It's like, what's a central kitchen? Let's start figuring out what central kitchens are. And then we ended up taking one of the biggest central kitchens in India, which can supply up to 30-40 outlets. And then a next door came, a next door come, and then more are coming. So that's 6 years in 6 minutes.
So do you mind disclosing your age?
I'm 28 and a half.
28 and a half. He's the youngest founder that I've
Sorry, 29 I think. Yeah, 29.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make a lot of difference, but he's the youngest entrepreneur that I've recorded so far and most energetic. So
Mentally very old.
Mentally very old.
How old are you mentally?
Mentally, I am maybe 30 only.
Yeah, mentally 45 here, okay?
So I know when you gave your story in 6 minutes, you said that things were working out and then the problem was to expand. While things are working out, I'm 100% sure building a business like this, you might have had roadblocks yourself. So what are those roadblocks that you cannot forget?
Okay, so this is a purely entrepreneurial question. Roadblocks come to an entrepreneur every single day. Every single day is a challenge and it's a routine at the same time. It's a challenge and routine at the same time. What do I mean by that? I define entrepreneur as a person that can handle pain for a long periods of time. That's my definition of an entrepreneur. And every single day, the entrepreneur goes through a lot of roadblocks. But what makes them crazy is they keep coming back again and again and again. So the biggest roadblocks that we had was, firstly, no one believing in our idea. Of course, it's a stupid idea. Not even the parents would believe it. Of course, I want to commercialize these things called churros all over the world. We want to make it as big as a Krispy Kreme or a Dunkin' Donut. Finance is one roadblock. We didn't have any money. We wanted to sell these things called churros and make a brand out of it. We didn't have any money. And then finally, the biggest roadblock is quite an irony. The biggest roadblock might be you only for yourself. The biggest roadblock will be yourself, because the doubt that creates and the amount of positivity that you have to give yourself, for every negative doubt you have to tell 10 positive things about you. About yourself to tackle that negative thought. Okay, how did we handle each one of them? Let's make these things called churros popular, commercialize them all around the world. How do you know it works? We didn't have any money. Okay, let's start by selling them on the street. We have money for that. After that, okay, now we started selling them on the street. We showed that the market loves it. Let's prove it even more. Let's make a bigger shop. Let's prove it even more. Let's make even more bigger shop. Let's prove it even more. Let's expand. So, yeah, those are the roadblocks. But how did I tackle finance as a roadblock? I always truly believed frugality breeds innovation. I always truly believed. So whenever there's a roadblock of finance, it's like, what can we do with what we have right now? What can I do with what we have right now? That's how I tackle that. And the roadblock of negative thoughts, for the first couple of years, you have to be your own mentor, because you'll have no one believing in yourself. And after that, when you go level by level by level, level 1, level 2, level 3, when you show enough to the higher power, or whatever we call it, that you are not going to give up, he tends to send some help and then say, I think this guy, you need this guy in your life to help you through this roadblock. You need this woman in your life to help you through this roadblock. Yeah. So roadblocks. I hope I answered it. That wasn't 6 minutes.
When you were talking about roadblocks, it reminded me a lot of things, especially.
Yeah, tell me your roadblock. What's the biggest roadblock?
I think going out, deciding, when I had a startup, I decided
we both started at the same age, 19 and 19.
Yes. And I had a startup by myself. It was doing really, really well. And I've decided to go do an MBA, which in hindsight, I feel like was a bad decision.
Wow.
But now, and then you also were talking about mentors.
Yeah, mentors.
Finding mentors. The entire objective of me making How Did You Make It, a podcast here, and having people like you come and talk is because I feel like it could be helpful for a lot of people.
Wow.
Because I know everybody can't reach out to a Neehar or a Srikanth or a Suhas to come and have a chat with them. So I thought maybe through this podcast they will learn about how things work, how things wouldn't work, and it's normal to have problems.
Yeah.
That's the message that I wanted to give with this podcast.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm all yours.
And with respect to
I'm all yours.
and with respect to your entrepreneurial journey, it's been 7-8 years now?
7.5, yeah.
7.5 years since you started.
Yeah, let's be precise.
I
thought you did your research.
Coming back to positive end of the story, what was your biggest first milestone that you felt extremely proud of and you cannot forget?
The biggest first milestone went on for a couple of years. Let me explain. If I'm traveling from here to Delhi on feet, I maybe went with the doubt that maybe I can just go 10 kilometers. But I ended up finishing at 40 first. And then after that, 100. And after that, oh, I can't do anymore. I can't walk anymore. But then in the next month, 200. And then 400, and then 500. And we never stopped.
Yeah.
What do I mean by walking and not stopping? When we first calculated how much of a break-even we would need to run that first small shop, we're like, every day if we get 7,000 rupees, we'll be fine. Okay, please God, give us 7,000 rupees per day, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And the first day we did 2,500, and the first weekend we did 15,000, and the first 1 month we touched per day 50,000. I was like, 50,000? We can't go more than that. And then 65,000. And then 75, and then 95, and then 1. And then it started scaring me in that small little outlet with just 4 to 5 tables. And then it just kept growing and growing when the zeros kept on adding up. I was like, this stupid brand I tried to create on a street stall can do these many numbers? And now I can't even count the zeros. Yeah, so the milestone keeps going on. A milestone first is that, because we were absolutely surprised what it was capable of. Second is a personal milestone. I was an absolute idiot when I started this thing, and then kept on, due to the business, due to the daily rituals of the business, you have to shift yourself completely 360 degrees. 360 degrees you have to shift as a leader. It's like, okay, I'm a dropout, what can I do? Oh, I have to lead 2 people? Okay, I'll get it done, I'll learn, I'll adapt.
Yeah.
50 people? Okay, I'll see. 100 people? 200 people? Okay. Yeah, that's another goal. And then mental goals. It's amazing the person you tend to become. From an absolute idiot on the street selling these things, and now you tend to become a tough military leader and a UFC fighter. You can compare an entrepreneur to that. A serial entrepreneur, yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. So when you started Churrolto, was it the same name when you started it, Churrolto?
Yeah. It was a dumb name. We were 2 kids, me and my partner. I was like, what should we name it? Okay, we're selling churros. Okay, churros stop. What is stop in Spanish? Oh, alto. No, Churrolto.
That makes sense.
Yeah, now it's like a brand.
Yeah. Did you think that it would make it this big when you started?
Absolutely not.
When did you realize that this was going to turn into something?
I mean, if you have a baby, I mean, you can't predict when the baby is delivered to you. You can't predict if it'll be a doctor or an engineer, or maybe it'll go to space. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the excuse I have in saying I was seeing the vision, but I couldn't fathom the details. I wasn't flexible enough for the details that it can be that way. Yeah. And then you see the baby growing up, going through puberty, growing up.
Yeah.
And then you see, oh, this baby is actually smart.
Yeah.
He's capable of doing this and this.
Yeah. And when did the realization hit you that, okay, this is going to turn into something really big?
When I had my first mentor and he said, what is your vision? And then it wasn't me speaking out of my mouth, it was that future Neehar speaking, saying, this is what's possible with this. And what is that, he said? He said, that Neehar said, feeding 1 billion. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. What's your vision for your life? Where do you see yourself 25 years down the line?
I think I see myself managing a company. I'm not sure which one or what, but I feel like I'm adding 1%.
Entrepreneurship is truly on.
Yeah.
These days.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is overrated, but entrepreneurship is, I'm absolutely loving entrepreneurship. Like example, what is entrepreneurship? Tim Cook isn't the founder of Apple, but he manages it. Satya Nadella is not the founder of Microsoft, but he manages entrepreneur. You prove yourself that you can run that company, and then you run the company. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is truly on. Yeah, and they make some good money. They make
Maybe one day
great money.
somebody like you trusts me enough.
Yeah, yes, of course. Right now, I'm ready to go chill.
So I think adding 1% or maybe taking that one step towards where your future self is, I think is right now my goal. I think if you ask me, when I started off early 20s, my ambition was to buy a Lamborghini. I still have it on my vision board today.
Wow, okay.
I still have it. I know people will laugh off. I also would, but I don't know. Maybe one day.
No, why? Which color?
Red.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So that's the dream. Now that I'm 30, I think of myself a little stupid for having that dream, but I don't want to give it up.
Who doesn't want a Lambo? How is that stupid?
I mean, the wiser
people who
person in my head saying that.
No, we should always cherish the childish side.
Yeah, I think materialistic things are also good goals to have. It's my opinion. I don't think
we're all children inside. No, we want a Lambo.
A red color one.
You talk all wise. We'll buy the Lambo.
Yep. So do you have any materialistic goals?
Okay. Extremely ironic. Of course, guys like fast cars. Of course, yeah. We like fast cars. Yeah.
What's your favorite car? What's one car that you want to get?
I don't like these commercial ones like Lamborghini and Ferrari. I like Pagani because it's a truly beautiful work of art. I like Koenigsegg because the founder has a great story, a struggling story. I like cars like those that have character in them. Yeah, I don't like commercial cars at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons the first car that I bought was a Skoda.
Okay.
It has a lot of story to it. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but Skoda has a lot of character, and that was the reason I gave as a 26-year-old.
German.
Yep, as a beautiful machine.
I heard dialing back to Nazi Germany. How do you feel driving a Nazi car?
Don't say that. You're driving a Mercedes, no?
No, that's my neighbors. I just take care of it.
I see. So, what are other materialistic goals apart from cars?
Materialistic goals. I'm truly into watches because I'm a very, very time-oriented guy, and I want others to know with the watch I put on. And watches also instill conversations. Yeah, with other people that love watches.
Just to plug in, he's the first guest who reached before the crew and myself.
Oh, you're insulting the previous guests and the crew.
I didn't mean to. They were just on time. He's before time. All right.
Why I'll tell you, because it's interesting.
Yeah, go for it.
If you guys go to the gym, a gym does absolutely nothing to you. Working out does absolutely nothing to you if you don't follow the diet, yeah? So, money does absolutely nothing to you if you don't schedule your time. Yeah.
Interesting.
If money is gym, time is your diet. Yeah. So scheduling your time is your diet.
Interesting.
Yeah. You can do all the push-ups you can, but you won't get any. You can do all the ab crunches, but if you don't eat that broccoli and that grilled chicken, you won't get what you want. Yeah. It's the same with time management.
Interesting. So, do you know Kunal Shah, who's the founder of Crore?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So, in one of his interviews, he said
he speaks
something
amazing,
like, he's actually, I think he's done his PhD in philosophy, which is why everything he says makes too much sense with too much data backed. So he said something like Indians have.
No, he did a PhD in this thing called life.
Did we also do a PhD in life?
Not yet, but
we're on the way.
We're quite good students.
Good students, for sure.
Good.
So he said something like Indians undervalue time because they look, how foreigners look at time is they are charging their employers by day. And in India, nobody, breaks it down as to monthly salary. నాకు ఎంత వచ్చింది అంటే per day నేను ఎంత earn చేస్తున్నాను అని ఇప్పటివరకు ఎవరు ఆలోచించరు. Especially somebody who's doing a day job, nobody breaks down and understands this is how much my time values. So when you start looking at it like that, nobody will sit and scroll to glory for 3 hours to save 100 rupees and get a voucher. When they're doing some online shopping, we look for vouchers everywhere for 3 hours to get 100 rupees off.
Yeah, and you're more valuable than that stupid voucher.
Yeah. So
I should stop scrolling on vouchers.
Not at all. Feel free. It's all of us.
Yeah.
It's guilty pleasure. All right. So coming back to a little, difficult questions.
Go on. I like those.
Is that if, let's say, you get to have Churrolto automated, it's functioning without you.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Right.
Even if I die, nothing should happen to the company. That's the goal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So today, if that can happen for you,
Yeah.
what's the next thing that you would step into?
Okay, I always had two passions. One is food, one is technology. I grew up watching Apple, Steve Jobs, Microsoft, all of them fight together.
Okay.
And that was my era. So when I was a teenager, when I first got a computer with internet access, you tend to go two ways. Yeah. I went the other way. So first, before I misuse this, who is this guy called Steve Jobs?
Okay.
And I just got hooked on to him, the way he was presenting, the way he was selling, speaking. I was like, wow. And I truly believe Apple was struggling at that time. Actually,
Yeah.
they were always like, oh, Apple is going to go down few weeks away from bankruptcy and all that bullshit. But I truly saw something in that company, and I was like, this company will become number one day, and now it's the most valuable company in the world. I don't know how I saw it, but I truly believed before they actually became what they are. And then I truly got hooked on to technology. And food and technology were my two main passions.
Okay.
So I thought I'll come to food first. I thought it was easy, but it's kicking my ass. But then technology will be my next pursuit. I truly love technology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's where the world is headed to. I think it would be smart to just pump your money into it.
Yeah, but even if I don't make anything, I'll just have this. I truly love technology. I love to make a change in a snap for billions of people at once. And then in the morning when I wake up and I read stories on how I changed their life, that's a high that no drug in the world can give.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I've heard that people online, whoever watches all these podcasts or stand up, any kind of interviews, is because people find storytelling very engaging.
Yeah.
In the interest of people, I want you to share with us what's been the most impactful story in your childhood. And it could be something that happened to you or ever a story that made a lot of sense to you and it has a lot of impact on you. I can share mine if you want me to start.
Yeah.
So there was this personality development classes that used to happen back in school during summers. So there was this speaker called Rajesh Murthy from Bangalore that came down to do these courses, and I was the youngest in that personality development workshop.
Yeah.
Youngest, I was in
Yeah.
12th standard.
Yeah.
And everybody were 25, 30, 35, etc. And this one story he shared was, there is somebody who was very suicidal, somewhere in the West. Somebody who was very suicidal, he went and wanted to commit suicide, and he stopped there to think, asking himself one question that, నాకెలా అవుతుంది సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్కి ఏం జరుగుంటే వాళ్ళు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయ్యి ఉంటారు. I want to know this అని చెప్పి he got off the bridge. He started approaching all the successful people and wrote down all the notes that they gave. వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయ్యారు అని చెప్పి.
Okay.
He turned it into a book and he sold it, and that's the highest sold book in that particular year.
What's the name of the book?
Called How to Influence Your Friends and Family. I'm not sure exactly about the name, How to Influence People, something like that. The author is Dale Carnegie.
He came to you. Wow.
He came.
Oh, this was a story that.
This guy was telling.
Hey, wow.
So I'm not really
How
sure
to
if
influence,
the story is true or no.
Yeah, how to influence friends and something, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I never went back to check if the story is true or no. Don't quote me. But this is the story that he shared with all of us.
And that made an impact.
So that made me curious as to learning why people are successful. I've always watched too many interviews,
What are the
heard
patterns?
too many podcasts, implemented a lot of habits and systems that these people said in their interviews.
Give me two.
One is making systems and habits instead of having goals.
Super, yeah.
And the second is excellence is the best goal to have.
Okay, excellence ought to be a habit.
Yep. And one more thing is that have a final say in everything that happens in your life.
Okay.
I think a lot of South Indian people will understand this.
Yeah.
But yeah, these kind of things I think etched into the person that I am while I was growing up. So that story had a huge impact on me, that always look up to people who are doing better than you, learn, repeat, imitate to a certain extent that you understand that, that's how habits are formed, that's how success is made. What's yours?
Life is very fragile by Steve Jobs only. Because when I used to follow him, he was alive and he was speaking. He used to do these amazing keynote presentations, which was a marvel of marketing and influence, and I mean, he just knew how to make great products and sell them and distribute them. And I used to write him emails, and I wrote a physical letter as well that I'll meet him one day and I would give it to him. But now I think I have to go to his grave and put that letter up. Life is very fragile. Yeah.
That's been something that you've always looked forward to growing up?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, I'm going to say this to him, I'm going to say, I'll take care of Apple, you go chill. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
Very interesting, very nice. Yeah. It's only that passion that drives you forward, right? It's nothing else. Basically, your goals are pretty mobile. Like one day you want a Mercedes, you have it, and then you will want something else the next day. Life is about...
The goalpost always moves forward. Yeah. There's another mountain to climb.
100%. What is your next goal?
Feeding 1 billion. That's a vision.
Yeah.
And we have to break it down into several small steps. How do you do that? You do that through making a lot of people, a lot of Neehars in the company. Now that I built myself, I have to teach them how to build this guy and then build the company, in turn build the company. Yeah. So the next goal is to build a hardcore team that travels with me in the bus till we reach that 25-year-old plan, the big, hairy, audacious goal of feeding 1 billion. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Right now you have 3 stores in Hyderabad, right?
Yeah.
Are you planning to expand geographically?
But we're as ready as possible. Everything from the store creation to the operations to it is just absolutely smooth right now. Yeah. We don't know what to do. I mean, we can do more. We keep evolving. Yeah. The vision keeps getting mature every single day. Yeah. But we're as ready as ever. Yeah. Yeah. To show this thing called Churrolto all around the country. Yeah. So that's it.
There is this psychological data point, and then I'm drawing from the insights that were given by entrepreneurs. It gets uncomfortable apparently when you are in a comfort zone. Is that true? Nothing can, break you or shake you. When you are in that spot, it almost feels uncomfortable that you are in that spot. Is that true?
Entrepreneurs are absolutely like that. They're extremely chaotic in the mind, but extremely organized in their actions. Complete contrast from inside to out. So when they tend to get comfortable somewhere, the mind goes absolutely chaos. And then they want to solve that chaos, and then the end product is something beautiful that they create with their hands, like a product or a brand that then the world feels the love they put in what they made with their hand. They feel it. The world feels it.
Yeah.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You tend to become uncomfortable in a comfortable position because you tend to get complacent.
Yeah.
And you become a burden to the world. Yeah. But not many people feel like that. So many people I know are happy to be a burden.
But the entrepreneurs, luckily, maybe I'm meeting the best of the lot, but everybody that I've met are in a very, it's something like you just mentioned, right? It's not a vision that you've had when you started off, but you are in a great place right now. You could just say that
I can chill.
నాకు చాలు నాకింత ఇలా మనం స్టాగ్నెంట్ గా కన్సిస్టెంట్ గా ఉంటే చాలు. I can go back to my own things that I need to cater to in my personal life అని చెప్పి chill అవ్వచ్చు.
To retire is to expire. Yeah.
Oh, on that, I've been meaning to ask it through whatever you've been saying all this while. Hustler mindset is something that a lot of people on the internet are giving shits to. Reason being, it feels like you're making the anxious people more anxious by pushing them into action when they don't want to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So hustling apparently is toxic. That's what it's termed as. Atla kuda chaala mandi antunnaru toxic enduku.
Yeah, because they don't want to do the work. And which is fine. Not everyone is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is pain all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to keep hustling every single minute, and you have to keep working, but you have to work at a place of rest. Like I was giving you an example before the show that the CEO of Nvidia, the interviewer was asking him, "Hey, what do you do when you wake up?" "I wake up at 4:30 in the morning." "Okay, what do you do?" "I start working." "Till when?" "Till 12 in the night." "Okay, when do you relax?" "I'm relaxing right now. I'm relaxing while working. I'm relaxed." "How is that relaxing?" "What is relaxing? Sitting by a beach with a Cosmopolitan or a margarita?" "No, this feels like that to me." "What is relaxing? Taking a massage?" "This feels like a massage to me."
Yeah.
So that's how you should feel. Even though you're hustling, you should hustle with a place of rest. Or else it'll take a toll on your body.
And if it doesn't feel like that for somebody, that's okay. It's not your cup of tea.
I mean, at first, of course, they'll feel anxious. It's like, I'm doing so much, I'm not getting anything. Then they'll get used to it.
That is me right now. With the podcast, it's actually crazy to manage getting in touch.
I'll give a real world example. I don't think that articulated well enough.
Yeah.
My mother's a gynecologist. She says whenever a patient comes for delivery, it normally takes 6 to 8 hours for the patient to deliver the baby. So the first 1 to 2 hours, the pain level is just maybe 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. But the amount of drama the patient makes is a 10 out of 10. The most amount, she feels the most amount of pain. She's like, I want this to stop, I want this to stop and everything. And the last few hours, the pain is extreme because the baby is about to be delivered. But then she gets used to the pain. And then it doesn't transfer into the drama. They get used to the pain. So it just continues. It's like you tend to get used to that pain.
God.
Yeah. And you just stay with that chaos. Yeah.
Chaos is the new normal.
It just becomes like that. Oh, these many people ran away. It's okay. We'll take care. We'll live. Oh, this catastrophe happened in this outlet. Oh, it's okay. I've been through this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get used to it.
I think it's like when you learn how to drive. I remember when I learned how to drive, the first time it was raining when I took my car out. I got so scared for no reason.
Yeah.
And the friend who was sitting beside me, she was like, "It's not a 2-wheeler, it's a 4-wheeler. If it's raining, you can drive." I'm like, "But no, I'm somehow scared." She was like, "It's all right."
Yeah.
And then there's a lot.
It's not a Lamborghini. You'll be fine.
So when I was driving around, and there are steep slopes in Banjara Hills. I used to use my handbrake to stop because I was scared if I put the normal leg brake, it will go back. So So yeah, now
I'm never getting in a car with you.
this was 4 years ago. You can now.
There's something called muscle memory. Yeah.
Not like this. But there was something in our first conversation that you mentioned, which is again one of the roadblocks that you said that you faced, is Exodus. Am I?
Exodus, okay, yeah.
Can you throw some light on it?
Every experienced entrepreneur goes through it, or maybe not, but
Okay.
I've been through it a couple of times. It's when a large chunk of your people leave the company and you're left with a very small number. Like example, we did this campaign called Free Churros Week, which is our Churrolto anniversary. So the whole week we end up selling free churros because of course we want new people to try churros, and we made huge revenues that week.
Yeah.
Day one, I had 200 people. Day two, 100 people ran away, looking at the amount of work. What do you do at that point? I mean, this is entrepreneurship. I told you, ability to handle pain for a long period of time. What do? You have a lot of chaos running in the mind. You get a lot of emotions. You get aggressive. You get angry. You get emotional. You don't know what to do. But then what do? You take 5 minutes for yourself, and you step out of the room, and then you start becoming.
Crying.
Yeah, cry in your toilet. Cry in your toilet first. Don't show anyone. Wipe it off. And then come out, and now it's time to become that military officer that you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And then you make changes. Hey, what are you doing today? Okay, be at this place. I need you here. I'm going to take care of this, this, and this. CFO, you're doing accounts. Cancel it. Go. Stay in the counter. HR, what are you doing? Something important? Screw it. Come.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you head the operations. You are in the front line. You're not allowed to go. You're not allowed to leave and run away that day. No, not at all. And it's going to go on for a few months. These are just, right now it's just, the pain is used to it. Exodus is nothing for me.
Yeah. So if you have to describe the most ideal employee, how would you describe him or her? What are the traits? What is the zeal that they need to bring to the company? If you have to give 5 traits, what are they?
Okay. Firstly, the willingness to learn. You don't have to be the most, I don't want you to be high IQ.
Okay.
I absolutely love dumb people because I'm dumb. And then people with high IQ, whenever you give them a task, they tell 10 things why you can't do it. I don't, willingness to learn, firstly.
Yeah.
Second is effort. I mean, you don't have to be perfect the first day. Effort is truly admired by an employer and a customer. If like even big Fortune 500 companies goof up every single day, but the customer truly admires when they take the call and they put efforts, constant efforts in changing them. So that is truly admirable. So second is effort. Third is that hunger that truly attracts me. If they have a hunger to grow and if they have that fire in them, that is very attractive. Self-improvement. They want to improve every single day. It's like, give me more, give me more, give me more. I mean, you tend to sweat saying, okay, fine, I don't know what to give you inside internally. That is very admirable. And then ability to handle pressure. Yeah. How well will you handle pressure, because that shows that they can stick to the company for a long period of time. I think, 5 good traits.
If you had a chance to hire somebody smarter than you or somebody not as smart as you, who would you choose?
There's these videos running in the internet that say you have to hire people smarter than you so they can teach you. I have a problem with high IQ people. I don't like high IQ people. Because they don't take the risk. This dumb guy, he doesn't have high IQ. he ends up jumping into the pool of sharks. The person with the higher IQ, he analyzes.
Yeah.
If I jump into this pool of this happen.
Yeah.
This guy jumps and then tries how to swim,
Yeah.
and then ends up learning a lot of stuff. So this is why a company divides engineers and salesmen and never puts engineer in the position of a sales guy. The sales guy will just release the product.
Yeah.
The engineers, no, it doesn't have good rounded corners yet.
Yeah.
It's not perfect yet. No, perfection is paralysis. Just release the damn product. We'll sell it for you. And when we make money, we'll end up. Yeah. So.
Fair. I knew you would have an unpopular opinion about this, which is why I asked you this question.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we've come to almost the end of this. I have one last question to ask. If somebody wants to become an entrepreneur, hypothetically, let's say this person is somewhere in their early 20s.
Yeah.
What is your advice to them, and what is the first step that they need to take?
If you're not in the game, if you don't see yourself doing it for the next 60, 70, 80 years, the same thing for 60, 70, 80 years, don't get into it, please.
Fair.
Don't do it to show off to that girl in your community. Hey baby, I own this. Yeah. We don't want all that. If you're not ready to do the non-glamorous work for next 60, 70, 80 years, the same thing. That's how billionaires are built, by the way. They're not built by 30 or 40.
Yeah.
They're built at 60, 70, 80. Yeah. That's the average age of a billionaire. Yeah. So if you're not here for the long term, don't come. Just don't come. Because you'll put a lot of people in pressure, especially your family, especially the people that love you. They can't see you going through that. And then you'll tend to give up. Yeah. I think that's good advice.
That's that according to me is positive reinforcement, but I know a lot of people would look it as a negative reinforcement, but still it's reinforcement. It's very reinforcing.
No, they're quite mature these days. They see it, okay, this is what this guy means. I can't exit. I can't think that I can build this company, exit. It's like selling your, no.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are your parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. We're not parting ways. We're meeting again and again and again. No, we're not parting ways.
Parting thoughts for the podcast.
Oh, okay. I have better coffee next time.
Done, noted. We'll order one from Churrolto.
Yeah, parting ways. If I can inspire even one out of the 1 million that'll see this podcast in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a prophecy I make. I'll be truly happy. I would love to meet that one guy. Yeah. Or girl. Yeah.
Yeah, Neehar is pretty responsive. So just ensure if you guys have any questions, I think you should reach out to him. He makes a lot of sense when he's answering your questions. I remember having 3-hour conversation with him when I met him for the first time.
Yeah.
We've spoken about everything under the sun. He's really, really smart for his age.
Yeah.
Should I be saying?
But no, I'm really, really dumb, and then
Okay, we
learn the
are
hard way.
lowering the expectations, and then we are going to say that he's really smart. But I don't think they'll buy it if you say you're dumb, for sure. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
That's my parting way. Be dumb, not smart. Yeah. That's my tagline.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. I think we should put it on the thumbnail. Be dumb, not smart. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bye-bye.